So if you are as attached to your dog as I am, this is going to sound like a really good idea. If you don't have a dog, you're going to think I'm crazy, but here it is. I'm going to teach you how to make a statue of your hand, holding your dog's paw for pretty cheap. I found this hand casting kit by Precious Impressions on Amazon, and it's actually meant for people, but I was a little curious to see if it would work on my dog. I know, don't judge me. Here I am showing you the 2 bags that came inside the container. I also picked up this little wooden base for $2 at Hobby Lobby. You're also going to need this rubber spatula and a big bowl of water. I put a blanket over the table to make it a little more comfortable for Roxy and also for easy cleanup. Fact: your dog is going to hate you, but peanut butter will help. The first bag we're going to use is the aluminum bag, and we're just going to pour that into the water. You're going to want to mix it with the spatula pretty quick and try to get all the lumps that you can out of it because this stuff is going to turn to rubber quick. You'll know that it's ready to go once it turns pink. It's pretty magical if you ask me. The next step is to just pour it back into the container. And then we have to wet our hands before we put them in. But honestly, I read somewhere that if you use baby oil, it's so much easier. I'm pretty sure that Roxy hates me now because she hates having her paws touched, and this was just torture with her. But basically, we had to stick our hands in until the thing hardened, and it took a good 10 to 15 minutes. Once it turns into hard rubber, you can very carefully slip your hand out, and there should be an impression left like this. Next, we're going to empty our second bag into a batch of water, and this is going to be our ceramic portion, so we're just going to mix it until there are no more lumps. There's no rush to this next step, but we are going to fill our mold with the ceramic mixture, and we're going to kind of bang it against the table and stuff to make sure it goes into all the little tiny crevices. You're gonna have a lot of ceramic left over, but once you've filled up your mold, we're gonna pretty much just let this sit for the next 2 to 3 days. Alright, so once we're confident that our mold is dry, we're gonna slip it out of the container and just rip it open with your hands. And you're welcome to use scissors or a knife or whatever. I tried it, but I think that it is probably a little bit easier just do it with your hands, to be honest. Once our statue is free, we're just going to pick out all of the little pieces of the rubber that may be left behind in the crevices, and yeah, it's not going to look perfect, believe me. As you can see, there are a lot of imperfections in my statue, but luckily we can use sandpaper to sand a lot of the mistakes away, and also the hand will be pretty wet when you take it out. This is a good thing because it's pretty easily moldable, and I was even able to use a knife to kind of make some of the creases a little bit deeper that I wanted. Once you're happy with the changes that you've made to your statue, you're going to put it near a window with sunlight, and we're going to leave it to dry for about a week. Once the statue is 100% fully dry, we're going to want to kind of seal it, or else it can grow mold. A great way to do this is by painting it, so I'm using some acrylic black matte paint to kind of get my statue started and have a little bit of a base to put the really cool looking paint on. Here I am making sure to get all of the little tiny crevices and creases, and then I decided to also paint the base black. And here's that really cool paint that I was talking about. It's just some metallic paint that I found at Hobby Lobby for like $3. They had a ton of different shades of metals. I decided to go with the bronze because it looks really cool. And to give it that old bronzy look, I decided to paint it with a really light hand, and also I used a pretty stiff brush so you could kind of still see the strokes coming through. Once I was done with the bronze, I put a little bit of that spray paint inside of a plastic cup, and I went into all of the really deep creases, and I put some black into them to kind of make them look a little bit deeper. I wasn't really sure what to glue this down with, but I used some of this tacky glue. I put a bunch of it on the base, and so far it's held up good. I don't know if this was the best idea, but it's what worked for me. So there it is. That's how I made my really unique, really cool little statue that I'm going to cherish forever because it has my little baby's paw. If you enjoyed this video, or if it helped you out at all, please give it a big thumbs up, and also why don't you just go ahead and subscribe. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye!